Hey, Kool-aid Krew, what is happening? Hey guys, we got some we got some stuff to talk about. We got like 3, maybe even 4 solar storms going to be hitting Earth. I showed you some of these yesterday, but what you're seeing there, guys, that's the full day run. Plus today I'm going to show you some more. We've actually had one that happened at the end of the uh, live stream yesterday, and it was right in the middle, right here, Earth facing. That did send a CME directly at Earth. Here's the confirmation of that. This is the NASA model. So we're going to kind of dive into all this and see what it all kind of means and see what we get. We should see some increased Aurora. Obviously, guys, yeah, right there. We're going to see Aurora down about that far. At least that's what the forecast is for it. And yeah, and we'll see if we. I think we're going to get more too. So if you guys could, please, please, please share the stream out. It would be much appreciated. It's good to see you guys. Anybody missed the members only live stream, it'd be kind of cool if you went back and checked it out. I highly encourage anybody who has a membership to please hit that bell. It really does. You'll be glad that you did. So let me. I need to check something here real quick. Technically, do we have a 5 for 5 in there? By the way, let me let's see if I hit. Yep, that's the wrong chat box. That's what I thought. Okay, hold on one second, guys. I think I got it fixed already. Yep. All right, we got it. So if we 5 for 5, I'll go ahead and keep on rolling. This should be a fairly short one. Hey, Leah. Okay, see you in a minute. But yeah, guys, please share this out. Again, this isn't really the time I typically stream. I try to stream between 7 and 9, 9:30ish, sometimes closer to 10, because that puts me right before Marfugal, and I don't like to be live when they're live. I like to be over there, number one, to get the good information, but also out of respect for people that have helped me. Adam and Dex have helped me so much, it's just ridiculous. And I know you guys know that. So I try to respect that, and we just try to do it that way. But so, guys, check this out. This was yesterday, and again, I already went over some of these. So for anybody that don't know what this is Seeds. Now, Seeds is nothing more than just a website here, guys. Okay, and it has different data on it. It's got different models. It's got right here. This kind of top box here is LASCO C2. Okay, that's an instrument on this satellite right there. The satellite is from our perspective. It's always looking at the sun. Okay, but this website also has stereo A. And that's stereo A over here. And it's actually hanging out, well, it's probably even pretty close to that. It's probably over here. So it used to be 90 degrees out this way, even further. We had kind of a backside view. But I point that out that we got different tools on this website. Because I oftentimes hear people say, well, let's go over to Seeds and check out the coronagraph. But they never go any further with that, so you're kind of left in limbo. Where did the data come from? Is it all one satellite? Is it, and it's not. That's the point. We got to understand our perspective from where we're looking at to understand what's actually happening. And this is directly from our perspective. So we get about an hour warning when anything's coming at us. It'll hit this satellite first. Now we'll get a 3-day warning from a coronagraph imaging. They're going to see it pretty much in real time, near real time, right? And we get it pretty close. It's usually about a 4-hour lag, I will say. But that's okay. What we're talking about here, we don't have to be immediately there. With CMEs, guys, we got time before they get here. And I just want to make sure everybody understands that. We have to make sure that we've got that going. And so, yeah. Now, with all that being said, this Seeds is here. And what this is really mainly doing now, it's showing us CMEs. It's a CME tracker. So if you scroll to the bottom, the first thing you're going to see at the top here, this is all the stuff from SOHO. Okay, stereo A, I believe, is down past this. Yep, right there. That's stereo A. Okay, so anytime you see these boxes light up, then you know that the detector detected a CME, and that's what it's trying to show you. Very seldom do you ever see a movie run here that's been detected a CME that has 40 frames in it. You can scroll down through here and you're not going to find anything close to 40 frames. Well, there's one for 29, but that's still not. So what I'm saying is a lot of times what that means is that's kind of like a longer eruption. Um, and sometimes with those, they tend to be slower because they're just, they stay in frame longer. So if we see what this is showing us here, you can see how that's exactly what's going on. See, it outlines it at first, and then it just, this thing here is just moving really, really slow. Now, I'm not sure if this one's going to hit us. I don't think that this one actually is. We could catch a glancing blow from it, because it is headed south, pretty far south there, okay? But check it out over here on the red view. Guys, that's a lot of plasma. That's a lot of plasma leaving the sun. Now, I also think that that actually has a chance of being on the backside. I really haven't looked yet when it comes to that one, because I don't think that one's, we're not in like any kind of, hey, we need to talk about that because it's going to hit today or something like that. No, that ain't what's happening. So, but this is today's run. Not today's run, but this is today's from today. So, if we go up here and we check out this one, check that one out. I wasn't able to show you guys this one yesterday. This happened while we were on stream, but if you remember, I was showing you guys this. Remember I said, hey, we just had an eruption right here in the middle, right directly our facing, and I even said, hey, if that produced a CME, it's coming right at us. Well, guess what? Right about here, that's that CME. It's coming directly at us. It's not going to miss. This one's going to hit us. Now, whether or not we get into geomagnetic storming is going to greatly depend upon a whole lot of factors. And, the factors usually start with me. I start with the BZ. If we're not at -6, it takes a pretty decent sized shot from the sun to really get us into storm level. The -6 is the magnetic positioning, and I'm not going to get into details on that. But we look for that -6 threshold for the BZ. That's this red line, or red data plotting. Looks like popcorn here because things are fluctuating, right? And when they're not, when they're kind of nominal, they'll look more like this black line. That's the BT, and I'm not going to get into what that is either right now. But notice how they kind of come close together here. So when they're doing this back here, usually that means we're getting hit with space weather. And this could be what we were talking about yesterday. And I'm not sure if it is or not. I'm still kind of out trying to figure it out for myself. But see how they kind of came together down here? And I know it's a graph. It's boring. So we're not going to stay on this one very long. But we also got density and speed. It's fluctuating too. But they're not excessively high. Neither one of them. So obviously that means that we're not in a storm right now, because we're not. But when I see all this stuff happening back here, and I see a bunch of popcorn here, right, that means all conditions are kind of fluctuating everywhere. It doesn't mean that they're extreme level high. It just means that they're up and down, up and down, up and down. They're not staying consistent. And a lot of that usually means that we're either getting hit with the CME, or we're going to be getting what we got there? Well, thank you, Heather Joy. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you for becoming a member, or re-upping your membership, or whatever that was. It's hard for me to tell because I have to look at it on my phone. It's ridiculous. We don't have I wonder if did that show? Let's see. Did it show? Yep, there it is. But yeah, we can't see it very well. You have to like look in the back office and stuff for memberships during the stream. It'll put a tab at the top, but after a certain amount of time, it deletes it. But anyway, thank you, Heather Joy. I appreciate you. And I'll stop about halfway through and give you a proper thanks on that. But anyway, so when these things are coming together, these data points, usually things, they're almost like calming down, or it's getting ready to really like hammer us. So I'm not really sure where we're at with that right now. I'm not going to say one way or the other, but if you remember what I was showing you guys here on this particular model, this is the NOAA version of the endless spiral. It's a CME tracker. It gives us 2 days historic data. Then it tries to forecast out 5 days in advance. Now, they haven't changed this since the 8th. Okay? This is the same model. I guarantee you it's not the same. This is different right now. Okay? It's just what happens. I'm not sure why they haven't updated it yet, but it's just what's going on right now. But if we go back to what I was talking about here, we can see the CMEs come off here, right? And if you guys remember 2 streams back, I was telling you guys, hey, we got a CME here and a CME here, and we might be catching like the wake of both of those CMEs right in the middle. And if you look at the data here, that's kind of what it looks like it started to do here. Because the wake can, the wake, it's like you got to think Earth going through space like a boat going through water. So if we don't take a direct hit, we might catch a glancing blow. And then even further out from that, we could call it the wake of a CME. Now, if the magnetic fields inside that wake are matching up with our BZ, it really will suck it in here, and it can give us some pretty decent geomagnetic storming. Especially if there's 2 of them roughly at the same time. But the opposite is also true. If the magnetic fields are the opposite, then we probably won't even see any geomagnetic storm from that at all. And that's just what happens, okay? But with that being said, that's an old model here, guys. I mean, look at this thing. It stops at the 13th. If you back up 5 days, that's the 8th. So, I mean... we can look at this, but this is not an accurate thing. And I'm just showing it to you to give you reference to what I was talking about with the wake, because I went over that a couple days ago. But the NASA model here is up to date. Okay? This is that one I showed you at the end of my stream. So this one is definitely going to hit. Now, there's also other ones in between this one. Things are going to get very, very interesting and very complicated really, really quick. And it's going to be very hard to forecast this. That's probably why they have not updated this. Because they're just not confident in what their forecast is on this model. But they do have a forecast up here. Okay? So we are expecting a geomagnetic storm at any time. And they give themselves plus or minus like 7 hours of leeway. So if they forecast something 7 hours before or 7 hours after what they forecasted, they consider that, hey, we got the forecast correct. And I actually agree with that, because you're trying to forecast something 93 million miles away. That's where it generated from. Okay, so all this other stuff, I mean, it takes time. Now, I will say this too, check this out. When we start seeing here on the geomagnetic activity, and I noticed this a little while ago. Remember yesterday I told you guys, hey, we need to be kind of in here in the middle. We were kind of at the perfect conditions. But things dropped off right here. And then it took a pretty decent sizable jump back up this last data point. I'll be interested to see what the next one is, because that is a significant jump up. It's not like massive or anything, but it's enough to say, hey, because if you look back through here, you don't see too many of like a unit and a half up jump from one time to the next. Okay? If you look back through here, you don't see it at all. It's like 1 is the furthest that it would jump up or go down. But again, that really doesn't mean a whole lot of anything unless we're still upticking here, and we very well could be. We could be seeing this, and like I said a minute ago, guys, when these are coming together, they're starting to split right here again. You see this? If we see the BZ go straight south down here to -6 or more, you can bet that we're getting ready to get hit with a geomagnetic storm. Just because of the timing and that polarity there. Okay, but that is not this one. This one isn't going to hit for 2 more days. So if I take you back here again to their forecast, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to hit the reset there. So we got G2, and we got G1s for tomorrow, and then G2 again on the 12th. This is the one here that is probably this one. Okay, because I do think they're probably pretty confident with this one. And just visually, this is the model. Okay, that's the model, and they use the data here, not visual. The model gets data entered into it, and it spits out a run like this to see what it thinks is going to happen, right? So we have the advantage that the model doesn't, that we can look at something visually. So we're going to look at SDO. Now, I'm not going to go into a big, deep explanation on what this satellite and how it works. It rotates itself at all times to keep its eye on the sun. You see that yellow line right there? Okay, you see how it's rotating? So that's where the sun would be located. But it's in geosynchronistic orbit, which means the satellite itself is staying over the same part of our planet at all times. If I scroll down here, what you're going to see is a figure 8 pattern. So it's rotating, it's orbiting around the Earth at 15 degrees an hour, the same speed that we rotate around our axis. So because both of those are the same degree speed, it stays over the same part, but it does this figure 8 pattern. Okay, there's a lot of reasons for this, but one of the biggest reasons, this thing can give basically real-time data right back to the White Sands at any given time, because it's hanging out right there. It's very easy to transmit that data back. So that's one of the pluses to that. But also with this, there is a drawback, and we get an eclipse season, which isn't a big deal if you know what's happening, because you usually only miss like 30 or 40 minutes each day for about a week or two. So it's not a big deal, because we have other satellites out there that we can still see the same things when this one can't see. Okay, so that's just not a big deal. But I wanted you guys to have an understanding where that satellite's at before I kept moving here. But here is the imaging from that satellite, and this is extreme ultraviolet. Okay, now I started this run back on I think I started it on the 8th. Yeah, so this is starting on the 8th, and it's going through the most current images we have now. Notice how we have the long duration one over here, and then we had that big one over here I showed you guys yesterday. But then right here, okay, you've seen that one, but here's the other one. That one there is the one that produced the Halo CME that's going to be hitting us on the 12th. Now, did you see right there on the end of that run what happened to the image? What I think's happening there is, I do think we're getting hit with space weather, and it jolted the satellite. Watch. Watch right on the end of this. It's coming. You'll see it move. Right about there. See that little shake? Okay? So, sometimes when we get hit by space weather, that's what happens. The satellite gets jolted like that. Okay? And that's the last image we have of it right now. It's blurry right now because it got bumped. And I don't want to say bumped because nothing really hit it but charged particles. But it's not like a wall or anything hit it. It's just what happens is the charged particles are moving fast, and they're more dense than what this satellite was already sitting in. So it does. It's kind of like you guys know those like the kids' toys. It's a table and it's got sand in it, and they put cars with the glass top on it, and it's got a magnet underneath, right? And you can grab the cars and move it through the sand. That's kind of what our satellite is doing when it's sitting there, and not as much sand, and then a kid comes along, grabs that other car and pushes sand up against it, and it kind of moves it a little bit, right? So that's kind of what's happening with the charged particles in the satellite when we get hit. It causes extra drag. It causes the temperature to go up because friction, right? These particles have mass, guys. Okay, if it wasn't particles, it would be highly highly charged particles is what we're seeing with that. But the other thing we get hit with is X-ray, and that's light. It's here in 8 minutes. That's a flare. And also, I got a comment in the comment section. I might go over that here in a minute. I have to say that I was I don't want to say I was upset, but it caught my attention, and I want to address it because I fight so hard against what was said, and I'm not going to let that go unsaid. So I probably won't show you the account. I mean, the comment and everything is still there, and I responded to it, but I have no intentions of pointing anybody out or anything like that. That's not what I do here. You guys know that. But I will address what was said because I don't think it was right. So hang out for a second, and I'll talk to you guys about that here in a minute. So if we back this up again, and we're just going to go up here and watch the 10th. Watch the whole day run on the 10th here. That is that other halo eruption. So I'm going to pause it when we get there, and we'll go through it a little bit slower here. Okay, it started on the 9th, right? This is the surface of the sun. This is an actual disc on the camera, right? It has to block the main part of the light. So if I keep going forward here, you're going to see, right? Number one, that's moving pretty quick. It's not like breakneck speed or anything. So we look for a halo. For those that don't know, we look for a halo signature. What that means is, visually, it looks like a halo because it pokes around this occulter disc, all the way around it. If it does do that, it either means it's coming right at us or it's going right off the backside, because we can't see, the satellite cannot see behind this. So, yeah. So, but that is a drawback to the occulter disc, but we wouldn't have anything at all to look at unless this occulter disc was here. Everything would just get flooded with light and it would be overexposed. We wouldn't see nothing. And also coronagraphs, guys, they use coronagraphs here, and they're kind of like triangles here on the surface. They got them set up, and you can fire pew-pews through them, and it actually will give you the speed of the pew-pew, okay? So we use coronagraphs for a whole lot of different things. That's just another application for one. But they're using it here for this application here. Now, also, I get asked a lot, what's the difference between the black and white and this red version? Well, this is a difference image, and I'm not going to go into exactly what that means, but we oftentimes look at this one because it does give us a good contrasting look. You get a really good difference between dark and light colors here, so it's able to like map out where the CME is a lot better visually. Now, over here, it does a pretty decent job too, okay? When we see the bright reds come, like right, what's going to happen with this one? Watch. This southerly one here that's erupting. See how slow that thing is erupting? I found it very, watching it, I found it to be extremely slow. But look at that. That is a big old wad of plasma getting shot off the sun. That's what that is, guys. Okay? And you can see how it's just even over here. That's a decent sized eruption, and you know, it's probably a good thing it's going south of us. Now, I don't think this one actually came off the front either. As a matter of fact, let's just look. Because I don't think it did. What time was that one? So that would have been around what? Let's back it up. Way back there, huh? Wow. Right around, we're going to call it, I don't know, 3 or 4 on the 10th. So if we bring this back to about the same, we'll just start it on the 10th right here. And we're going to see if we can see it, okay? And that's why I'm doing this. So and we could look at a different angstrom here in a minute. Now, guys, that right there is the one that's coming right at us, okay? So keep that in mind. Now that is, what day is that on? Yeah, it's the 10th, right at the change of the day. So that's the one I showed you guys yesterday at the end of the live stream. I guess that actually could be part of that. It could have a southerly component there, but I don't know. Let's just see. Let's watch and see if we see anything else. My guess is we will. Well, maybe not. So, I guess maybe that could be part of it. Maybe it has a southerly projection there also. I don't know. So we'll take a look at it here a little bit deeper here. Hold on. Okay. So my guess is it probably did come off the backside, because this right here, I know that is not that far south. Okay? This is in the northern hemisphere of the sun. You're not going to see that big old wad of plasma coming off the sun on going to the south from up here. Okay? It's just not going to happen. It's just too far. Now I can tell you this too, that it does look as if we might be seeing some more eruptions here. You know what? Let me just update that. Ah, crap. I hate that when that happens. All right, let's. I tell you what we'll do. You know what? Let's just look at this one again, and let's see how many more images we got. Okay. Well, we've had another CME. I can tell you that. Watch right here. See this right here? Right there. Kind of crazy. But yeah, so we've got a bunch of eruptions, and this is what I keep telling everybody. We have to pay attention to this stuff because it's so hard to forecast, and that's why I nowcast. I don't forecast anything. I don't sit here and pretend that I can do that, because I can't. I can't. I mean, that's just what it is. Now, yeah, I can look at it visually and give you my opinion, and that's what I do. But I also tell you, hey, listen, if you're going to, hammer it down into something that's going to happen 3 days from now, exactly to some time frames, you might, let's go double check with somebody else. If I don't have the answer to something, I usually know somebody that can give us the answer. So, yeah. But, yeah. Hey, Seventh, good to see you, buddy. I ain't seen you in a minute. I've been wondering where my dad jokes were. Been missing you, brother. For real. I've even been asking around about you. Lord Kiss Freak was in the stream last night. Members only stream. Just so you know. I think I might have even mentioned it there. I can't remember. Hey, guys, give me a roll call in there real quick. If you could. Just to get this regional. That's all I want to know. And I'm actually... I want to go over the Aurora stuff here in just a second. But, guys, yeah, the radiation storm itself has calmed down. We are no longer at a risk for any kind of radiation storm unless we get hit with some big massive CME. Okay? Now, I was looking at this too a minute ago. Now, follow me with this. Okay, this is GOES. It's the same kind of extreme ultraviolet that SDO uses, but this is a different satellite. It's in geosynchronistic orbit too. It's just in a different spot. But if you see this arc right here and this arc right here, I think these were connected. So if that's the case, that was another CME that blew off over there. Okay, that most likely would have been like a filament release. Let's play the movie and see what we can see. Let's see if it gives us anything here to go off of. Yep. Check it out. Boom. Right there. It doesn't look very powerful because it's not moving real fast, but that's another CME right there. Also, I was wondering if this was going to happen, and it did, it looks like. Guys, I bet you that southerly CME that I was showing you guys here, this one, you see how it's kind of at an angle right here? And the one that came off right here in the middle was in the middle, right in front of us. So I don't think it was that one. But I do think it was probably here. And with it being such a long duration one, and we seen that big old wad of plasma, look what happened. It literally opened up a hole in the corona. Okay, this is a coronal hole caused by that eruption. We don't typically see these things stick around very long, and this one is definitely sticking around. So that just tells me that there was a lot of plasma getting ripped off. Now this up here I think just opened up. This wasn't something that happened from a eruption. But let's confirm that before I go all crazy here saying all that, right? We don't want to be doing all that because I ain't going to be having that mess. So we'll look at the 211 here and see what we can see. The 211, we get to see coronal holes pretty well. It shows the corona really well, actually. But we'll take a look at it here, too. Now, it does look like it was already starting to thin. Okay? So, let's see. There's that CME. You see that, guys? Watch right here. That's why we look at different angstroms. Because we couldn't see that on the 94. That green one I just showed you. Watch right here, guys. Right in here. I know it's slow going here, but hang in there with me. Right there. Okay? So that's probably that one. I don't know, though. That time frame just doesn't match up too well. I don't know. I'm still out. The jury's still out on that one, guys. But do you see how this right here just kind of started to open up? And it doesn't look like it was caused from an eruption. So I will say that what I said a second ago is probably not what happened. Okay? Because it does look like it just kind of opened up. But given that, we still had this. So it probably did pull some of the plasma away and made it a lot easier for that to happen. Is that a big deal? No, it's not. Coronal holes that far south, we typically won't connect very much to it. We can, and we do connect to the polar ones sometimes. But, yeah. We usually pay more attention to that kind of stuff during solar minimum because we don't have as many eruptions. So, hey, Trinity, good to see you, girl. Alright, so, but yeah, guys, you can clearly see what's going on there, right? So, but I'm still timid to say that this southerly one was from that other one. So I'm just not sure. So I'm not even gonna give you guys an opinion on that because I really don't have one at this point. I need to dig into it a little bit more, okay? But given that, it's still going really, really far south, so I don't know if it's going to hit us. We could get a glancing blow from it. That's what I'll say. So, let's pause that. Now, again, guys, this is the NASA model. This is the same model as this. This is just the NOAA version, okay? They use different parameters. They take it into certain data into consideration more than the other one will. It's like a hurricane model, guys. The spaghetti string models. They never 100% agree. But when they do agree, you can probably pretty much bet that's what's going to happen. So these things are kind of agreeing right now, I have to say. Even though we're not seeing NOAA's version of this, they are still saying that that's going to hit us because if you look at the forecast up here, that's why that is like that up here. Okay, so their forecast is matching up with what NASA's saying. So yeah, they're both saying the same thing. So anybody who wants to get Aurora tonight, get your butts out there. Okay, I want to see some Aurora photography. Anybody get some stuff, man? Come on, send them over to me in my email, and I promise you I'll show them for you. I've been doing that a lot for a lot of people. We've seen some awesome ones from JPOS. Lord Kiss Freak sent us some a while back. Ilea sent us one. It had the Big Dipper in it. It was really cool. Who else? Ricky sent us some. Somebody else did too. Guys, I'm bad with screen names. I want to say it was Lamonda or Lawanda, something like that. If I butchered your name, I apologize. I see a lot of screen names, guys. I try to keep up, but yeah. So, all right. Now, Okay, well, this is what Dr. Tony Phillips is saying. Look at this. There's that one from yesterday. Also, guys, this is the SpaceX thing. Okay, Polaris Dawn mission took off. It's a very cool thing to see in the sky, but that's what that is. Okay. Inevitably, you'll have somebody out there saying that that's not what that is, but it just simply is. Just check the times. That's all you have to do. It really almost completely just proves that it is what it is. It will match up exactly to the time. So yeah. Also, near Earth objects, we are headed into the Perseid meteor shower. Okay, so the fireballs will probably uptick up through the 12th here. I think it's going to climax here on the 12th. So we're going to see a steady increase in fireball reports. Also, we're going to see, we'll probably even see some meteors and asteroid near-Earth objects detected. What that means is there are objects out there that we didn't see before, and now they start to plot them when they see them now. And they measure that by lunar distance, the distance between here and the moon. So when you see a 3.5, that means you would have to go to the moon 3.5 times straight out from the center of the Earth. That's how far out that would be. Now, sometimes you'll see some of these in here 19, right? Yes, I understand that that's a long ways away, but when you're considering the vastness of space, that is not very much. So, but yeah, please come over here and check out Dr. Tony Phillips' website. It's spaceweather.com. It's one of the best ones on the internet. I look at it every day, multiple times. So, yeah. But yeah, he's talking about this right here. Yeah. And I showed you guys that dark plasma. This one. Remember? Yesterday, right there. So yeah, that one there is going to be hitting us also. So we've got a couple coming at us. So that's the point here. And that's why I wanted to come on here and give you guys a little bit of an update here, because once our great country has its debate tonight, ain't nobody gonna be watching this during that. So I just thought I'd just throw that out there. Most people are gonna be watching that, and rightfully so. I mean, it's a big thing around here. Hey, Hilly. All right, see you, bud. God bless, brother. All right. Love you, brother. Hey, you take care, man. Hey, 7th, if you're still in here, I want a dad joke, man. All right. And I completely missed the roll call. Heather Joy, thank you for becoming a member. Guys, we had a lot of gifted memberships yesterday, and we did do a members-only stream. It was kind of just thrown together because everybody wanted to do it real quick. And I did get it in before Marfugal. So, I ended right as Marfugal was going live. So, we'll probably do another one this week. If not, I may even come back on tonight and do it after the debate. So just know that. So if you guys, click your bells. Seriously, click the notification bell, because when I post something, typically I'll get on here most likely before the time that it's posted. I do that because what it does is a half hour before we go live, YouTube sends out a notification. So you'll see me change the time to about 35 minutes before 35 minutes right before I'm getting ready to start. And I wait for that 30-minute threshold to hit. It'll send you a notification, and I'll wait usually 10 or 15 more minutes, and I'll go live. And when I do that, it sends you a second one. So you got a better chance of getting a notification. Just so you know. That's how it works, and I know it's something you have to learn while you're doing YouTube. But it is what it is. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and pop off here. If anything else is going on, I will be here in a lickety split. I always am. I watch this stuff all the time. You guys know that. It did look, now, let me before you guys do get out of here, I wanted to show you guys this. I forgot. Okay, so this is the sunspots. This is the size of the Earth. Okay, this is the most current sunspot image. As you can see, there's not a whole lot going on, but we do have some rotating in. Remember, we had some massive backside eruptions. Okay, we have to keep that in mind. It's coming around here. It's going to be here in the next day or two. So, yeah, we're going to have to pay attention. All right. So, with that being said, I am going to go ahead and pop off. Now, we do have a coronal hole up here too. I forgot to mention. But this 211 version, you can see how the corona gets disrupted and everything like that. It's a very cool extreme ultraviolet. And I will say that this hole up here is starting to open up rather big. Okay, so if I stop this and take you guys to here, look at this thing. Okay, it's not huge, but it's not small. Plus this down here. So we got two coronal holes about the same longitude. With that being said, we could connect to both. You never know. So yeah. But just is what it is. Whatever, man. Oh, goodness, Skywalker. Oh, wow. Okay, guys. God bless. Yahusha saves, and as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid.